welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
Second half.
With Kona.
Kona is here. We got him. He's
out of here.
He's
a little upset.
Yeah, we woke
but
him
the
up from his
Heisman.
nap.
Well, the Heisman.
Oh, yeah, the Heisman.
He's been upset ever since Gentry didn't win. I think.
It shows that the NCAA favors certain conferences. They don't care about the Mountain West. They don't care about Boise State.
Yeah, it was a shame. I'm not saying the other guy isn't the most talented player.
He's plays both ways in college level.
That's not what the trophy's about. It's not about the most talented player. It's about the best player for that year.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't lead the category in anything on defense or offense. And he wasn't number one. Gentry was number one all the way through. Crime shame. He should have got the Heisman Trophy. He has crushed the numbers of the last three running backs to win the Heisman Trophy. Crushed them.
I think the last one that won it only had like 1,500 yards, and he had way over 2,000. So.
And did you see what he did? He shows up, and he's wearing Boise State gear because he said he didn't get there alone, and it took the team to get him there.
Oh, nice.
And he's the only one wearing the gab, nobody else is wearing the colors. They're all just wearing their own clothes. So, class act. Gentry, your career's not over. You're going to go on to do great things just because of the guy you are.
Actually, that kind of leads me into my statement.
Yeah. Well, let's switch the screen.
Yeah.
Weekly statement of the week.
Actually, it goes into my statement. Denver Broncos, they won. They had a great game. Offensively, it was kind of a slow start for them. Bo Nix, he had 3 interceptions. But he bounced back and had 3 touchdowns. Defense and special teams, they kept that team in the game. And, again, you play as a team. So, if one side of the field doesn't compete, you're hoping – well, not hoping, but it's great when you have your other side of the field compete as well and be able to finish the win for you. So
and get a little help from the opposing running back.
That too. That was probably a turning point.
That was a turning point. They didn't score another point since then.
Nope, they didn't.
They didn't score another point.
They would have been up 20 to 7.
27. Yep. Yeah, you guys had 23 unanswered points.
Yep, all in the second half.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that goes into, offense kind of struggles. Honestly, I'm excited in the future for the Denver Broncos because statistically, we are 90 million under cap or over cap, like with Russell Wilson, dead money here. Statistically, we should have the worst roster right now with a rookie quarterback, rookie receivers. No one doesn't know these receivers. Courtland Sutton's the only receiver that anyone knows.
He's pretty
don't
dang
have
good.
A running game, and this is where my statement comes. Gentry, supposed to win the Heisman. I would be thrilled if he was on the Denver Broncos.
Go from Bronco to a Bronco. Hey, why not?
That's my statement. Broncos, Denver Broncos, they have a great success moving forward because you can only get better now. And so keeping these young receivers and Bo Nix defense, I don't think there's any contract deadlines for the defense. So, this team is just going to get better. And let's improve in the offensive line and running game. And
I think as for the Seahawks as well, we blew it against the Packers. Didn't show up. They whooped our tail. But there's signs that there's growth on the Seahawks, and that defense is going to be something special again.
And that's what I always look towards.
Now, well, yeah.
To your team, it may not be the year here, this year. It's great that we're looking good for the playoffs. 91% chance of making the playoffs. First time in 9 years. But it's great, looking forward. I'm like, we're gonna be successful here. And,
I think
that's kind of the positive thing I kind of look at, especially last year when Sean Payton came in. I wasn't worried. I'm like, you know what? They'll figure out the kinks. It's always a 3-year plan, as I always say, with Dan Campbell and the Lions. Here we are, year 3, maybe even year 2 already.
I like the comparisons of our teams that are in growth. We still have a shot at the playoffs. We can still win the division. Got to win the last 3 games, go all the way through that. But the position we're in is we have a veteran quarterback who wasn't really wanted by anybody else and is making a few dumb mistakes. But we found out very quickly that Gino is our best quarterback on the roster. Howell is not, but you guys have a young quarterback that you can build around, and we don't. We don't have that piece yet.
And it's his rookie year without a running game, so like he is making the team what it is right now. I mean, not saying that he's scrambling for his life. Like he only got sacked once. He had a couple scramble outs, but again, like he's making these. They're relying on him. That's why he's a first year captain as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just year one for him.
Yeah. So I don't know what the Seahawks are going to do at quarterback, and that brings me into my statement is you better figure it out quick, Seattle, because we got 3 games to win this year, and next year is coming right back. And if you don't do anything to create some excitement at quarterback, I really felt like Gino was going to be the guy, but with the offensive line play, and it's not just Gino, he's made some dumb decisions down in the red zone. But the guy's literally made throws that I don't know that any other quarterback could make. Our offensive line sucks, and you better figure it out.
Yeah.
Offensive line's terrible. It's like, I don't know. It's frustrating to watch when you can't even compete at home with so much on the line. It's not like, okay, we know we're not going to the playoffs. We're a better team. Man, if we lose, no big deal. No, it was a big deal if you lose this game. And now you're on the outside looking into the playoffs.
And you also got to know, too, the opposing team, they're in the same position as you. So it's not like, like this weekend there's like Carolina and like Arizona game. Like Carolina is out. Arizona, they just know that they need to compete. But if you just kind of go into the game like, we're just going to compete, the other team is going to compete more.
Yeah, we got our asses whooped. Green Bay came in. They dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage in the first half, and then they dominated offensively.
I knew it from the first drive Green Bay had.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty...
Like,
we didn't even slow them down. Well, they scored on every possession in the first half.
Yeah.
And then they only got a field goal in the second half, so that was nice. Or they got 1 touchdown in the second half, maybe a field goal too. But the defense made some plays, and they adjusted. The offense just couldn't rise to the occasion as soon as Gino went out. Howell has no pocket presence. Before he went in, before the first play, the announcer said, "Oh, he led the league in sacks last year." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that about him." And then I'm like, "Well, now I see why. He's a statue in there. He doesn't move at all." He's like, and you think Russell Wilson's short. He looks shorter than Russell Wilson. He just stands there, lets the pocket collapse, and you just go down. Go down. Didn't even try to get out. I'm like, was he scared? Anyway, it's disgusting. I'm sick of it. Let's move on. Let's get into our picks.
It's your last home game, too.
We have one more next week against Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then we end the year 2 road games. Yeah. So I said we have to split between Green Bay and Minnesota. We got to win one of those. So now this becomes a must-win.
Well, yeah.
And the rest of the year,
you're in a position where they're all must-wins.
Yeah. So now we got to go 7 wins in a row to be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, because the Rams, let's just say it, Rams have Jets this week. That's probably, that will be a good matchup, but again, probably favored more on the Rams.
So, yeah. So well, Rams are the better team. They've already beat us once, so we'll see. We'll see. You never know what could happen. Seattle's shown some signs of brilliance, and then they just don't show up. It's kind of frustrating. All right, let's get to the picks. I'm not feeling good about my. Not feeling good. I took the Broncos. Broncos didn't let me down. In fact, you were yelling at me during the game. You picked my Broncos, now they're losing. And I'm like...
That was during the first half.
Everything worked out.
Normally, you would pick against them, and then you'd be wrong, or vice versa. So,
however, I do remember you picking my Seahawks. I did as well. I picked them.
Because I felt like they were hot.
They were hot, but when you look at who the Packers have actually lost to, and it's been by 1 score. The Lions twice, Minnesota, and the Eagles, all top teams. So, took the Lions over the Bills.
I think everyone. I don't know. That was a disappointing game for me too. I picked them as well. Actually, no, I didn't. I did pick the Bills.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good for you. I didn't. I thought the Lions would keep it going. Niners and Rams.
Because it's what you said last week, where I don't see the Bills losing 2 games in a row. I took that to heart.
Well, I didn't even believe it myself. So I don't see them losing 2 games, but they were going in to play the Lions. They were just on a mission this year.
Yeah.
So, but you know, might be a good timely loss for the Lions.
It was, and again, that could be the Super Bowl matchup. So again, a good time to lose against the next, the next
48-42 game. Is that what it was? 48-42?
Yeah, and next time they meet will be the other way around. So who knows?
Took the Commanders over the Saints.
They almost lost it with a 2-minute or 2-point conversion.
We watched it, right? A 2-point conversion, which smart. I mean,
if I was the Saints, you had nothing to lose.
You had nothing to lose.
The win gets you up into the, who knows, tied with the Bucks if they didn't win. Again, they were just desperate, and it was a smart play.
Hey, good job on you picking the Bucks playing the Chargers. Great pick. They killed them.
Yeah,
40-17. Chargers, you're terrible too.
You again, Chargers were at home,
and you guys are going to beat them this week
at home, or Chargers home, but it's going to feel like a home away game for us.
Well, I was riding that Steeler Wilson train, and I thought they were going to take care of the Eagles, but didn't even compete. Eagles with a nice win and lose another pick. Vikings over the Bears, so we're even still. Picked the Chiefs over the Browns, and you picked the Texans over the Dolphins. You almost took the Dolphins.
I almost did, but I just want better odds for the Broncos to be in the playoffs, so I went with my heart, Texans, and they, the game was on the line for them too. They won, and then they capitalized on the division, so they're in the playoffs.
Niner game pissed me off. We needed them to win that game. I mean, and already the Bills pissed me off the week before. They couldn't beat the Rams. I'm like, maybe the Rams are just the better team. So here we are. We're still tied. Well, now I feel better because I thought my picks were a little worse than that. But
my 2 picks were my only 2 picks that I lost. I got all the other games.
Oh, did you win the thing?
I won the office.
Oh, nice. So good for you.
Yep. Nice little $30 in my pocket.
$30. Don't spend it all in one spot.
Maybe I'll make some parlays this week. $5 parlays.
You do something with $17, I know of.
Oh yeah.
Okay, power ranks. Let's go through it.
Commanders. Last week I had like all the bye week teams in 10, so Commanders will stay there. Broncos, they'll move up, and the Ravens, they moved up. So that kind of capitalizes on those games.
The Ravens were on a bye?
The previous week, because remember I had teams at number 10 with the bye weeks.
Oh, that's right. The Ravens. Who the Ravens beat?
They dominated against. Who was it? The Bengals? Was it the Bengals?
Bengals play the Tennessee Titans.
I felt like it was.
I don't even remember.
I mean, they dominated. It was like 30. I mean, Lamar had 5 touchdown passes, so I knew that because I was playing against him in my fantasy league. So just to get the answer to our questions. Play the Giants.
Yeah, well, who wasn't going to beat the Giants? Steelers coming down, but still in the top 10. Packers, that huge victory over the Seahawks. They came in.
They went up 1.
Oh, man. Anyway, let's move on. The Eagles at 5th place in the top 5, looking good. Vikings, I don't know that they're better than the Eagles, but both teams deserve to be in the top 5. Chiefs, they just can't lose.
I will say they had a better game because they didn't win by 1 possession. So that's all they have. But also what they have in common with the Patriots, the Giants, and there's another team. But yeah, they have a common thread.
Patriots, Giants, and Carolina?
Carolina, possibly. Raiders.
Patriots, Giants, Raiders, and the Chiefs.
They have a thing in common. Those 4 teams have not scored more than 30 points.
And what are the records of the other teams?
Oh, like 2 2-12, 3-11, 2-12,
And then
and
Kansas City,
13-1.
13-1. So
They've
apparently,
scored 30 points twice, and that's the most they've scored all year.
their defense. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, again, defense wins games, so maybe that's what they're riding on this year.
did the Lions drop down? They
They
do.
do.
Yeah, number
Because when
2.
you're the Bills and you can beat the Lions and the Chiefs, doesn't matter if you lost to they lost to the Ravens, I believe.
I believe I know who's hitting the number 1 spot now.
The Bills, yeah.
And why wouldn't they? They took down your number 1 team. The Lions have been there most of the season,
Yeah,
really.
and same thing with the Chiefs. They took them down.
So here you go. Here you go. There's your top Wolf's top
My
10 power ranks.
top 10. Debate on me on if I have this right or not. Do the Texans deserve to be in there, even though they won their division? Do the Bucks deserve to be in there since I beat the Chargers? So yeah, let me know.
Yeah, well, if you go off record, no, but they keep playing like they did against the Chargers. Whew,
Yeah,
man. So Bills moving on up. Eliminated from the playoffs. Here we go. This has probably grown just a little.
just a tad little.
There we go. There's the teams that are out of it in the AFC.
Just from the week before, and the new comers to the club, we got the Bears and the Panthers.
There we go. Wow. Where are these guys sitting for? Okay, what do these teams need? Let's talk about teams that have been eliminated. The Patriots right away. I know they've got their quarterback.
Raiders need a quarterback.
Raiders need a quarterback. New York needs a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
Jets need a quarterback.
I could see Rodgers staying put in New York, but he'll just be playing for the other team.
Ooh.
That's a possibility.
You calling it out? He's going to go to the Giants?
I'm calling it out.
Wow.
He's going to the Giants.
And then watch them win.
I think I even heard him say before in a interview, a press conference after a game, he's like, "Yeah, I like New York." Doesn't mean he has to play for the Jets.
So, okay. So right now, Patriots, they don't need a quarterback. Giants, Jets, Tennessee. Will Levis is not the guy.
No, he got benched today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders need a quarterback.
Raiders need a quarterback. Both New York teams need a quarterback, let's just say.
Bears and the Panthers might be fine.
I could see Cleveland hanging on to Winston.
Yeah, but what about the other guy? They're paying.
Dude,
Are they done with him?
I'm sure he's done.
What's his name?
Watson.
Probably getting all massaged up as we speak. What about the Jaguars? Now, they're interesting.
Lawrence, he's okay. He's just IR because of that concussion hit.
Do they keep their coach for one more year and he's on a super short leash?
Yeah, I'm sure if, let's say their bye week is week 8, and if they don't have a winning record by then, he's done.
Yeah, because the Jags have pretty much been in most of their games. They just haven't been able to get over the hump and win.
It's like the other side. They're like Kansas City on the other end.
Correct.
Just unlucky.
Well, Minnesota, I bet you they're pretty close to what they seem to be playing really close games. I know last night they pretty much took it to them, but which you didn't expect Chicago to put up much of a fight. But
yeah, I saw a stat. If you took all the games, all the one possession games that the teams won by, and you flip flopped it. So let's say they lost that game. Obviously, Chiefs would be like 2-13 in the AFC. Broncos actually would be still with the winning record right now. A few games that they lost to were by a few games, but they would actually be leading the AFC. And the NFC, they're all like 8-6 right now. It's not much of a difference.
It is quite the year, and it's quite the year.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. AFC playoff picture, Week 15. Got your Chiefs leading the way, currently home field advantage.
Yep.
They will probably wrap that up by what, next week?
Well, the Chiefs need to win out. They just need to win out. If they lose one game, they just need to hope that Bills don't win out.
Steelers lost, so they dropped to 10-4.
But they actually sealed the playoffs before their game on.
I saw that, so that could
Texans they secure their division, so they're going to be they're pretty much the 4 seed. I don't see Steelers losing much more, and then Ravens on top of that. So, but Ravens and Steelers play this weekend, and Steelers play Chiefs next weekend on Christmas.
Chargers at
So
8
you
and
never know.
6, bringing up the rear, still in the wild card. But look who's right behind them, which both these teams lost.
Yeah,
So the
but
Chargers,
they need a lot of help from above.
but look at the Bengals.
They're still hanging in there.
Can the Bengals hop over into this spot? They're still there.
The only way that
I don't think you want the Bengals in the playoffs.
No, I mean especially if they win out and the Chargers lose out.
You start thinking about some of those games they just barely lost.
They scored more points than Chiefs have all year.
So wait, stay tuned on what the Bengals could be doing. This is going to get interesting coming down the wire. 3 games left.
3 games.
Obviously, they got to win out.
Chargers have to lose out.
That put them at 9 and 8, a winning record.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to get interesting.
I don't know who owns the tiebreaker if Chargers and Bengals are 9 and 8 at the end of the year.
Well, we going to find out.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. So here's the NFC playoff picture. Lions got the number 1 spot barely over the Eagles. They have the tiebreaker, obviously. And then the Bucks. I predicted the Bucks to win the division. I just want to say, you Falcon fans that were like, "What's wrong with you, the Falcons?" I'm like,
hey, I got you covered, Falcon fans.
He still got the Falcons. Yeah, they're only a game up, but it's looking good for the Bucks. Rams bringing in the number 4 spot.
For the Rams.
It is looking good for the Rams. It is. Viking. It's hard to look over here and see 3 teams with better records in the wild card spots than 2 of your division leaders. Yeah. So, which is kind of common anymore.
It is, because as of right now, Vikings would be playing the Rams, and Packers would be playing the Bucks.
Crazy, and they're hosting.
Yeah.
So Seattle falls out.
I mean, it's Vikings have clinched the playoffs.
Here's
still up for grabs for that 3rd and 4th.
Here's the best news for the Seahawks. We have the tiebreaker over the Falcons and the Cardinals. And if we beat the Rams on the last game of the year, we have the tiebreaker over them. I was really hoping for that win over the Packers. We could have had the same record, and we would have had the advantage over them, but not anymore. Not anymore. Now they're 2 games up, and they have the advantage if we end up tied for some reason. So we're not going to be able to do anything with the Vikings, but we still need that win. Okay. Let's get away from this. It's making me sick to my stomach. Random picks from the bag. Here we go.
I got half the picks in here. Or
from
half the games.
The Lush bag.
I removed all eliminated teams pretty much.
Okay.
So we will not get the Jacksonville or Las Vegas game.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. I did even take out maybe some games like Arizona or Carolina, I believe. So there's actually 8.
8,
games.
So 4 each.
So
okay.
4 each, if you want to go with that route.
Okay. Here we go. The Vikings at the Seahawks. Oh, no. This is brutal.
You could just pick the Vikings. You got the pick. You'd be happy either way.
That's true.
Go with your it's your pick.
I think the Vikings are a very good team. I think that Seattle is an up and down team. They're not winning at home. They couldn't rise to the occasion to even compete with the Packers. And so I'm going to take the Vikings to come in. Yeah.
And you'll be happy if the Seattle wins.
Absolutely, I'll be happy.
It reminds me there was this bettor right before the Denver Bronco and Kansas City game, right before the kick got blocked. He made a bet, a $100 bet, and that the kick would be missed, and he won $1,000.
Sheesh.
So it was one of those, like, you're bringing your emotions, like your heartbreak emotions, back up. If Denver won, he was like, it was worth $100.
Sure.
So
something to make you feel better if they lose, and it did.
Exactly. All right, I got the Niners at Dolphins. Both teams are fighting for their life to try to get into the playoffs. I don't know what happened to the Niners on Thursday night. I mean, their linebacker quit on the team.
They decided to only suspend him 3 games
Well,
instead of
there's
cut
only
him.
3 games left in his year, so if they make the playoffs, I guess he has a choice
Maybe
to
they'll
make.
use him as trade bait.
Yeah. So, Dolphins, they've kind of been an up and down team. I felt like they've been playing well lately, ever since Tua's injury,
Mm-hmm. He's
like you
been
mentioned.
lighting it up.
So, actually, there was even a play where he got picked. It was an interception or a turnover, whatever. But he could have made the tackle, but he let off. He's like, I'm not risking myself to get another injury.
Pretty smart.
So, yeah,
Just let him have
because
the points.
it would have only been like 5, 10 more yards or whatever. So, yeah, with that, I feel like Dolphins are playing well. So I'm just gonna go with the Dolphins.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the right pick. Buccaneers going into the Cowboys. Cowboys are playing better with what's Rush.
Super Rush.
Cooper Rush. Where did he go to college? Cooper Rush. Anyway, it's good. That's actually a good quarterback name. He just doesn't look like a quarterback. I'm going to take the red hot Buccaneers to go in and take care of the Cowboys, who also had trouble winning at home. I'll take the Bucs over the Cowboys.
I think it is an elimination game for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
you never know.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
There's a couple games of the week, but I have one of them. We have the
rematch from last year's playoffs, correct? Didn't the Texans go into the Chiefs?
So, no.
They play the Ravens. It was either the Ravens or the Chiefs.
Yeah, anyway, so Kansas City and Houston. I mean, there's Mahomes. What's the status of Mahomes? That's the question.
He's probably going to limp out there. All of a sudden, when he has to rush out of the pocket, his leg looks fine.
Here's what I think. It would be smart to not play him this week, get him well rested for the Steeler game on Christmas, and then they finish off with the Broncos. I think this game, you can probably still win the game with your backup quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Ooh, man. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking as a chief.
They are at home.
Personnel.
They are at home.
So, that's the smart thing to do is bench Mahomes for this game. But I would love to see Houston beat the Chiefs, so I'm going with Houston.
Woo! Might be a good pick. I'm just saying. Could be good timing.
Because maybe take advantage. Again, this is a day by day, week by week Mahomes injury. If Mahomes doesn't play, I'm for sure taking the Texans. Take advantage and just attack Wentz there in the pocket. But yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Texans, okay.
Yeah.
I got your team taking on the Chargers, who just got shellacked by the Buccaneers.
And we shellacked the Buccaneers earlier in the year. Though.
I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. I think Harbaugh's kind of feeling the same thing that coach who couldn't get him to win. I think the game is so big. I think that it falls into Denver. I think they're just the better team. I don't think the Chargers have shown as much consistency as the Broncos. Whew. Boy, this is a hard pick. Rookie's got to play that. They already lost to the Chargers, correct?
Yes.
And he struggled. I'm going to take the Chargers at home. I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row. I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm worried about because they could fall out of the playoff race with a loss.
They absolutely could. Yep.
So
maybe more on the line for them.
I'll take the Chargers at home only because of what's on the line. I really want to take the Broncos. I'm just like, if the Chargers would have won, I would have taken the Broncos for sure. Oh, I'm going to stick with the Chargers. Home team, when in doubt, take the home team.
Which is kind of the away team when you play in LA. So
that's true. That's true.
If I, as a Bronco, going into this game as a player or a coach, you're thinking that you could possibly get the 5th seed. And so they have a lot on their hands too as well. So I think they're going to ball out. And that's my opinion. Obviously, I'm biased, but whatever.
You take the Broncos?
Yeah.
I might regret it, man.
I got your team. The
Steelers.
The Steelers and the Ravens. Man.
Oh,
Man.
whoa.
Yeah, another good matchup this week. Steelers, Ravens. I think Steelers have a tough schedule.
Steelers swept the Ravens last year.
The Ravens dominated against the Giants. Who hasn't? Man, this is tough. Steelers did play a good Eagles team. Does Pickens come back? I think they were missing Pickens.
They didn't have Pickens. They might lose him.
They didn't really have much of a Ravens didn't have much of a running game with Henry. It was all Lamar Jackson. It was his day. So, kind of what you're going with when you're in doubt, go with the home team. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick the Ravens.
Yeah, I think I would have on that one too.
As much as I don't want the Ravens to win, because I want Broncos to win, Ravens to lose, and Broncos get 5th seed, and they play in Houston in the playoffs and beat them, and then
All right, Ravens it is. Saints going into Green Bay. This is easy for me. I'm taking the Packers after watching them shellac the Seahawks. Those sons of bitches!
And then my last is the Eagles and the Commanders.
Oh, man.
Another good game, divisional game.
Ooh, Commanders need this one.
Commanders need this one because, in a way, you're hoping the Commanders lose. That way you can maybe get an edge in the wild card at least. But Eagles, they're just playing. They're playing ball.
Boy, they are.
So
I don't see anybody beating them.
Washington is not that far away. They'll have a good fan base. That will come down and support the game. So, I pick Eagles.
Yeah, good pick. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, those are our picks. I got the Vikings over the Seahawks, Buccaneers over the Cowboys, Chargers over the Broncos, and Packers over the Saints.
And I got Dolphins, Houston, Ravens, Eagles.
Wow. Okay. Those are our picks. Hopefully
get your picks in. This is 8 here, easy to choose from. So
see if you can beat us. We're pretty much professionals at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, that brings our show to a close. Anything you want to touch on or add?
No, let's just finish off the season. Went out, you're in.
Hey, it's coming down to it. This has been the Seahawks the last this 3rd year in a row where it's coming down the wire, where you got to win out, and then they don't win out, and then they need help. One year they got help. Last year they didn't. And Pete Carroll was out. We got a new coach coming in, Coach McDonald. He's kind of up and down with the defense. He's having to make adjustments at halftime. It's just not quite all there. They can't get the offensive line to perform. So for me, I think the Seahawks are going to need help along the way. I'm not sure they can win the last 3 games in a row. Obviously, I picked the Vikings, so it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah. For me, I'm already happy because, again, like I mentioned before, what we have as a team statistically, we're supposed to have the worst roster right now at this point with a 90 dead cap million in our pockets, or not in our pockets. But so we can only get better as we move forward with a rookie quarterback, and he's been performing well. And who knows?
And he got away with a win with 3 picks, so get that out of your system.
But he made it up with 3 touchdowns in the second half. So anyway, with that being said, it is the first winning season already.
Congratulations.
We're 9-5, and it's been 8 years. I know that because my wife and I have been together for 7, so I've been blaming her for all these losing seasons.
Yeah.
I don't have to take a break.
And no divorce.
with her. So, but right now at this point, we are sitting well, and it's just let's win. I think this weekend, if we win, we clinch the playoffs. Regardless, we just need to win one game. I think it is either way, but just play and just win.
Just win, baby. That's our show for today. We're section 325.